What's up, Clipper Nation? Preseason in the books now. Clippers take this one 108 to 103. Blake Griffin, the big star, once again for the Clippers. He had 30 points, 6 boards, 7 assists, and 3 steals. Like to bring in Jovan Buha, who is live from Staples Center, and DJ Foster. And guys, it's good to see Blake back in the form he was last year.
That was the biggest
Yeah,
takeaway I saw
agreed.
from tonight's game. Go, DJ.
No, you go. You're there. I'm in some cave somewhere. You go ahead.
Uh, no, definitely. I mean, last game Blake was a little tentative. He kind of, was overthinking it. Whenever he got the ball, he kind of hesitated, didn't make a move right away, forced a couple of jumpers, and just didn't look like himself. But tonight you saw, at first it almost looked like it was going to be, a repeat of last game where, like I just said, he was over dribbling, overthinking it. But, come the second quarter, he was attacking the basket. He was pissing people off like last year. Josh McRoberts, Matt Barnes, both took cheap shots on him. But that show in the fourth quarter was just something else. He had 4 or 5 baskets in a row, all different moves, spin moves, just taking it to the basket. He had that step back on Murphy. It was really quite a sight to see, Blake Griffin kind of coming into his own with new moves in that fourth quarter.
Jovan, I mean, his scoring in the fourth quarter was absolutely incredible. It was reminiscent of what we saw last year. But what really struck out to me, the entire game, was his passing. We saw him last year. He had some good passes. He was definitely a pretty good passing power forward. He had some spectacular passes tonight that I haven't seen from a big guy in a long time.
Yeah, that lob to DJ that was amazing. I mean, I don't know how many, power forwards could throw an alley-oop pass to their center. I think maybe you could put the Lakers on that list with Gasol and Bynum, but I mean, it might stop there. And his passing was something else. I mean, the Clippers as a team, they're obviously one of the best passing teams in the league now. You got Paul, Billups, Griffin, Mo Williams. You got a bunch of guys who can create for themselves, create for others, and I think that was the biggest thing tonight. You just saw offensively. I mean, Chauncey Billups and Chris Paul only combined for 15 points. You saw the rest of the team, though, pick up the slack. And, even though Billups and Paul didn't shoot that much and didn't score a lot, they still created for other people. And I think that's the big thing with this Clippers offense is that everyone can score, everyone can create for each other. And that's what makes them so dynamic and versatile.
Definitely, Jovan. Chris Paul also showed tonight that even when he doesn't get his points, which he can do on any given night, just passing the ball, he can be so deadly. He had 10 assists tonight, 0 turnovers. As a team, the Clippers had 29 assists and 6 turnovers. But I want to talk about DeAndre Jordan for a second. DJ, I know watching the game, you had some opinions about DJ.
DJ talking about DJ. Breaking the third and fourth wall here. Man, I can't get over how much energy that guy plays with. He's everywhere. That block on our test at the end of the game was, where did he even come from? He popped out of nowhere to get that shot and just, I mean, he needs to be the guy to be the defender. I mean, Blake's going to take charges and act like world peace. Sorry, guys. All right, let's get official here. No, he's got to be the guy to be the rim protector on this team. I mean, Blake Griffin is going to act like he got shot in the chest anytime he gets touched and try and take a charge. So it's up to DJ to protect the rim, and I thought tonight he did a really good job of that.
Jovan, what did you take away from this game about Mo Williams? Because what it looked like to me watching from home, offensively, off the bench, he's fantastic. But it seemed that he struggled defensively, especially when they try to put him at the shooting guard position, when they try and play him out there with Chris Paul. And I mean, that's a lineup that I think that the Clippers want to go with as the season progresses. Mo Williams at the 2 because he's such a good spot-up shooter. But do you think that he has the defensive ability to defend?
Well, like you said, Mo Williams is definitely more of a 2 than a 1. I mean, honestly, he's he's much better at spot-up shooting, back screens, just off-the-ball cuts, coming off picks that, ideally you want to put him at the 2. But, you know, just looking at it like you just said, defensively, he can't guard twos. I mean, he was having enough trouble guarding Steve Blake. Steve Blake had, I believe, 5 or 6 threes tonight, and almost all of them were with Williams guarding him. You know, he didn't get around picks. He didn't really fight through them. He couldn't keep up with Blake, and that's just disconcerting because if he can't guard, you know, one of the slower point guards in the league, how's he going to fare against twos? You know, I think he was in there against Gerald Green a little bit. Gerald Green didn't do much, but you're definitely right. When they play teams like, you know, Miami or the Lakers when Kobe's healthy, I can't see him at all coming in and guarding Dwayne Wade or Kobe Bryant for any stretch or period of time. And I think that's the disconcerting, you know, part of having Mo Williams at the 2.
Yeah, I just want to get one thing clear. So you're insulting Steve Blake at this point, Jovan?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't.
But you know he's an MMA fighter, right? He will ruin you. Did you see what he did to Andrew Bogut last year? Fear for your life.
I'm not afraid of Steve Blake.
Okay, that's all I had for you.
But I will say though that that's something I really like, and I've like come to realize about the Clippers defensively on the perimeter. They're not that fast. They're not that quick. So I guess the athletic, really quick guards will kind of destroy them, like you kind of saw tonight a little bit. But they get a lot of steals, and they play like in-your-face, suffocating defense. You know, tonight they had 10 steals. The Lakers had 21 turnovers. I believe last game they had 21 or more turnovers. So that's something to take away. Obviously, you know, this is preseason. Kobe Bryant wasn't playing tonight, but I think just the perimeter defense, that was one of my big concerns with this team, was how are they going to, you know, guard on the perimeter. You see like Billups is long in the tooth, you know, Butler too, but I thought they did a decent job. I thought it was down low where they got killed on the boards by 17, which was pretty embarrassing. That's where the Clippers' biggest weakness was.
Yeah, tonight the Lakers had 44 rebounds. The Clippers only had 27. Blake and DeAndre did all right on the boards. DeAndre had 7 boards. Blake had 6. But could you guys just talk for a little bit about what the free agent signing of Reggie Evans will do to help the Clippers on the boards?
Yeah, I'll start on this one. Reggie Evans' total rebounding rate last season was the best in the league. Literally the best in the league, better than Kevin Love, Blake Griffin. He's one of the better. I mean, he's kind of a one-trick pony, but he's one of the better rebounders in the league. So I think it's a great addition. I compared him kind of to the rebounding version of Craig Smith, where he's undersized and the fans are gonna love him, and hopefully he gets a cool nickname like Rhino, and everything will be great. It's a great signing, and it doesn't preclude them from signing a center. You know, this was just in addition to whatever, you know, actual legitimate 7-foot big man they get. It's another fantastic move by Neil O'Shea.
Well, with that said, DJ, what do you think the next move is for the Clippers then? Because I don't think, obviously, as you alluded to there, they're done with free agent signings, but who else do you bring in?
You know, I think they still have to bring in a 7-footer, and I'm not a huge guy usually on size versus production, but they just need a big body, because when they go up against guys like Bynum, and say, you know, DeAndre did a good job of staying out of foul trouble, but when he does get in foul trouble, you can't trot out, you know, Brian Cook as your center and expect to be okay. It just doesn't work that way. So they need a 5. They need just a big guy who eats space and blocks shots. And I don't know who that is. Is it Joel Prisbilla? I hope so, because he's awesome. So that's who I'm really hoping for, the Vanilla Gorilla. But, you know, I don't know. We'll see. I think they need a big guy with size, though.
Right now, as the bench stands, Jovan, you see Mo Williams come off the bench tonight. He did a great job offensively. We talked about maybe a few defensive deficiencies there for him. But apart from him, people were saying that the Clippers may be deeper than other people think. It didn't show that way tonight, though. Ryan Gomes, Randy Foye were so coming off the bench. Brian Cook, Trey Tompkins. What did you see from the bench tonight moving forward for the Clippers?
Well, just looking at the numbers, we're looking at Gomes was 2 of 3, Cook was 1 of 5, Foy was 0 for 6, Tompkins 3 of 6, and Williams 6 of 11. So, I mean, you see there's okay numbers there, but Cook and Foy combined for 1 for 11. That's atrocious. And I really think that I was one of the people that tweeted that out. I think this Clippers team is 6 deep, the starting lineup plus Mo Williams. Randy Foy and Ryan Gomes, some nights they're there, some nights they're not there. Cook is, at best, a below average player. Tompkins is, a second round draft pick. I think you have to limit your expectations for those two guys. Now, once the Reggie Evans signing is official and he comes on the team, I'd say they're probably 7 deep. But I think there are some depth concerns because I don't think you can trust Gomes and Foy for 66 games.
Clippers tonight had 16 fast break points. Of course, they have Chris Paul and Chauncey Billups leading the break, but I think the most impressive one by far and away was Blake Griffin, who took the ball all the way up the court, and there's not a whole lot of big men that can do what he did. Absolutely phenomenal. DJ, just talk about Blake Griffin and his...
Yeah, the thing that really got me, that play was great, and Jovan talked about that. I love how he pointed up like a point guard too, like go get it. Like who are you? But the coolest play I think was when he had Troy Murphy on him and he faced him up, and he put through he did 2 crossover dribbles and put it between his legs and was juking and shaking, and it's like, man, this guy has insane ball handling skills, and it's. And for him to have those kind of ball handling skills, and then Chris Paul and Chauncey Billups, when's the last time you saw the Clippers turn the ball over 6 times in a game? Anyone? I mean, no, I don't remember. So Griffin's ball handling is just another added bonus to what Paul and Billups bring in there. I think they're really going to take care of the ball very well this year.
And DJ, have you ever seen a big guy, a power forward, that can go coast to coast like Blake Griffin can?
Man, I'm trying to think. Carrying the ball, I've seen power forwards like Karl Malone sprint up the court and, get it from Stockton, but actually dribbling, I mean, I got a name for you, Anthony Randolph in Summer League. He does it all the time, but Anthony Randolph isn't a real basketball player, so he doesn't count. But no, there's no one handles the ball like Blake. He's incredible.
Jovan, I want to talk about kind of the unheralded starter for the Clippers, Caron Butler. At one point in the game, he had the most shots. He finished 7 of 16 for 16 points. A decent game. How do you think that he fits into this?
This is actually something I've been looking at with a lot of attention, just because I'm concerned with the Butler signing. But I think you saw it tonight when he spots up, when he's moving off the ball. I think he's fine. He had a couple nice cuts. Didn't finish well all the time, but at least the effort was there. But 3-point shooting wise, like on the perimeter, any Paul and Billups creating for him, he got some nice looks. Made a few threes. That was impressive. But at other times, he was a ball stopper, and he'd catch the ball, dribble 5-10 times. I remember vividly one play. He kind of attacked the basket after dribbling 8 to 10 times, and then kind of just dished it off to Blake like a hot potato. Blake wasn't really ready for it, and I think that's just kind of what Butler needs to figure out. What Vinny needs to teach him is that you have Blake Griffin, like you guys are saying, one of the best ball handling, passing big men in the league. You have Chauncey Billups and Chris Paul, 2 of the best point guards of the last decade. Like, you don't need to make the ball decisions. You're fine off the ball. I know he's used to being a high usage player, but I think he, within this offense and with what the Clippers have, he's much better served as, being an off the ball player, spotting up, cutting, doing that sort of stuff.
All right, getting about ready to wrap it up here. There's only so much we can say about the second preseason game, but before Christmas Day, when the Clippers take on the Warriors, let's go one by one. Just final impressions that we've seen from the Clippers over these past 2 days, looking ahead to this season.
Well, for only a few practices and 2 preseason games, they've really impressed me. I mean, I think that the expectations are a little too high right now. I think this team has to gel and get some more experience playing together, but they definitely look like a playoff team. It was really impressive what they did to the Lakers in the past 2 third quarters. They blew them out both times. And I think, it is preseason, but I think it is, it does say something, how relatively easily they were able to beat the Lakers both games. So that's encouraging. And my prediction is 42 or 43 win.
Yeah, on to that. I mean, this is just it's a grown man team. This is a team of veterans. It's unlike anything we've seen in a while. I mean, Chris Paul, the way he takes care of the ball, and Chauncey Billups just makes good decisions, and the way those two guys are playing off each other so far has been really, really good. And there were some concerns that they're going to start the season off slow because they have so many new pieces, but the chemistry between those two so far, I know it's very early, but it looks good. It looks really good. And so I think with those two guys clicking in the backcourt, that maybe they don't start off as bad as we thought. And I looked at it today, and I think a 4 seed at this point, and maybe I'm just, high off the Clippers-Lakers win, but a 4 seed at this point looks realistic to me.
Yeah, I think this team is starting to realize just how good they can be. And beyond that, they're playing like a real team. Sometimes when you throw all these pieces of talent together, kind of like Orlando did last year, obviously not the same thing, but it kind of is jumbled. It doesn't make sense. This team is starting to make sense. They're starting, even though they've only played together, as you guys said, only a few days, they're starting to find an identity. And I think that looking ahead, it's going to be a great season for the Clippers. And who knows? I mean, they could be a move or two away from being real contenders, not only the Western Conference, but to take the entire NBA. All right, well, for DJ Foster and Jovan Buha, I'd like to thank Nick Flint for screening. I am Mark Shore, and once again, join us after every Clipper game. We'll be here on ClipperBlog Live, so until then, Christmas Day, once again, Clippers taking on the Warriors. We will be here. So for DJ Foster, Jovan Buha, Nick Flint, I'm Mark Shore, and rise up, Clipper Nation.